Hello, I'm Dan America for Q103, and this is Good News, Bad News. Good news! Taylor Swift's mom is going to testify against the man who apparently groped her. Bad news for Taylor Swift's mom. Nobody wants to grope her. Bad news for the Kiss Army. Apparently, Gene Simmons wants to ban all transgender people from the Kiss Army, which is good like 500 people. Bad news for Gene Simmons. If all the Kiss Army is dressed up like Kiss, how is he going to know the difference? Good news. They're catching those alligators that they're finding floating around in the river in upstate New York. Bad news. How are they getting here anyway? I got some double bad news. Guns N' Roses announced that after this tour, it's over. No more Guns N' Roses. They're going to retire. Even more bad news. When that happens, where will we go now? Where will we go? Good news! Disney is going to have its own streaming platform, so you're not going to have to, search around on Netflix or Hulu or whatever you may have to find your favorite Disney movies. Bad news for Netflix and Hulu and all the other streaming platforms. Your categories, your roster, your movies, well, it has just become a small world after all. Good news, the Miami Dolphins have found a replacement for their injured quarterback in Jay Cutler. Bad news, they didn't take Colin Kaepernick, and it doesn't really make much sense because Jay Cutler was retired. I mean, I know that Kaepernick is a distraction in the locker room, but I guess Miami doesn't really want to win. Good thing I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I do got some bad news for myself. I am a Lions fan. But good news, I'm very used to my team losing. Good news for you spoiler fans. Apparently, HBO was hacked and some of the scripts for this last season of Game of Thrones have been leaked. And now, spoilers are spoiling themselves with these spoilers. Bad news. If you spoil Game of Thrones for me, I will do worse to you than what dragons can do. I will do far worse things to you than what Ramsay did to that little wiener guy. I never really know the names in Game of Thrones. I have code names for everyone. There's Annoying Mustache Man, there's Psycho Dragon Chick. I know Jon Snow and Arya, obviously. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to rip my face off this time. But if you spoil Game of Thrones for me, I will rip your face off. And finally, bad news. There may be a nuclear war.